I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Good morning! Happy Michkov Monday to all across the Delaware Valley. Well, a happy Monday, Anthony Gargano Show with you. We're presented by Rite Aid. Yes, visit your local Rite Aid today. Stock up on allergy relief and catch up on immunizations for RSV, shingles, and more. Walk in or schedule a vaccine appointment at riteaid.com. Well, the big news landed, man. Over the weekend, we heard about it yesterday. Hockey news. What was it, JP? Hockey news.
Hockey News Hub.
The Hockey News Hub, which does a lot with overseas and Russian players, broke the news, and everybody followed suit, that Matvei Michkov is on his way to Philadelphia. Now, there's all kinds of red tape and visa and everything else that will preclude him from getting here as quicker, like on time type of thing. But he's coming. So the man Russian is underway. That's a big deal. Having him ready to go, and you start, by the way, it's huge for the fan base, right? Because it's almost like, think about it. You finally get your glimpse of Embiid, and it's like, look at this. We have a reason to watch. So now there's a reason to watch. Now, again, he's going to be, he's young. You got to get a centerman to go with him. You got some talent that can set him up, but we're going to have a lot of fun. It's the beginning of the Flyers set, right? Like, this is the liftoff. What we're going to happen this year, and, it's not about playoffs, it's not about anything. It's about kind of building something, and now you get something to watch, which is very exciting. The fact that you get something to watch with Michkov, we'll see if he's everything that we hope he is, that he is one of the next great players. And whether it's, Barkov, who we're watching, it's in Game 7. So it's the hockey show today. It's funny. I went down the hockey rabbit hole. So I was looking up Flyers Game 7s. We got the Game 7 tonight, Edmonton in Florida, which is series has been awesome. Like, you don't have to be the biggest NHL fan to just get lost in this series. It's freaking outrageous. Down 3-0, Edmonton, the Oil Kings come back, win 3 straight. Now it's Game 7 tonight. It's just fabulous, man. It's incredible entertainment. And the fact is that the Flyers really today, with the news of Michkov, become relevant again. And that's what we missed, man. I'll tell you, I have missed them. I haven't gone back and reliving all those Game 7s, and they're all years old. Like, it's amazing. You fall asleep, and 14 years go by since the Cup run in 2010. The JPs and the Andrews, like they don't know when the Flyers were great every year. They were a playoff contender every year. They were in it, and there was runs, and the building was alive in the spring. Those are long gone. So it's about time the Flyers get back to relevancy. It's going to be a great week this week. You have the NBA draft on Wednesday. Cannot wait for that. The NBA draft. There's news about rumors are flying. Yeah,
Shams had said the Sixers signing of Paul George was waning. The interest in them signing him as a free agent. Now, there are other reports, and this is why it's all nonsense. We all look at it, and we all dive in, and we're all excited, and we consume every rumor, but half of them, or 90% of them, are really worthless. Because there's a story today. Well, maybe not. The Sixers may not sign PG, but they could trade for him. It could be a sign and trade where the Sixers send Tobias Harris and a first-round pick for Paul George. Now, there's all kinds of ways. Now, I don't know why you wouldn't just sign him because you have the money just to sign him. But if they were to do that, there is a way to build up the rest of the roster. So whether it's a sign and trade or a free agent acquisition, it's going to be fascinating. This is a monster week for the Sixers because this is it. You're going to build your roster. What does the roster look like? I'm fascinated. I know a lot of people are tired of it. And I heard from my man Anthony over the weekend, a chance. Trade Embiid, hear me out. Just trade him. His trade value will never be higher. I'm not trading him. I mean, you can't convince me. If you believe that, then God bless. I mean, you might be right. Like he may be, like they may not win with him. But I got to see. I've come this far. I'm not going to get the value that you think you're going to get, right? Like everybody goes, well, you trade Embiid, you get all this value, all these picks. This NBA draft, you can't even find one player in this draft that you go is a franchise player. So, look, I just want to go into it and let's see if I can build a team. Because the one thing about the NBA is that men win in the NBA. We all love the draft picks and we all love the roster construction, but, you know, they're not winning yet, right? Like they're not winning yet. Who wins but the Celtics who put together and they go through a whole a rigorous run of 7 years, and it takes them to get Porzingis and Jrue Holiday for Tatum and Brown to win. Right? Milwaukee was stacked. When they had not just Giannis, when they win, they're stacked. You got it. A bunch of kids is going to win in this league. So I'd rather take my chance, build the thing, and go for a title. Let's see. Listen, Boston's good, but they're not one of these teams that I go, oh my God, they're going to go back to back to back. I don't see that. I still think it's wide open. Depends what you can put on the floor. Depends what you can sign, what Morey. This is why you get Morey. This is it. The referendum on the Eel is this week and what he's able to put together. So we have that to look forward to. And, of course, our Nutley friend, the Phillies. They're just amazing, man. Yesterday in the Roku game, yesterday morning, 11:40, there's Christopher Sanchez right off the contract, and what happens? 7 innings. He was ridiculous yesterday. 7 innings, 3 hits, 4 strikeouts. My God, Chris Sanchez looking fantastic. We were talking to Charlie last week about him. He's like, Anthony, I think Chris Sanchez is real. I think he can do that. The other news is Taijuan Walker to the DL. Not surprising if they get lit up. Turnbull takes his spot in the rotation, who I like. I think he's a starter, and I like it. I like where they're headed. So they're in Detroit this week. So the Titans just continue to win. Bryce Harper does the Hawk Tui. So it was a great weekend in Philadelphia. Olipop brings us our morning column. Don't forget Olipop, the soda that's good for you. You can find it at Whole Foods, Wawa. It's really tasty, man. And you don't even know that it's good for you. Every morning, there's VG. Pops open his Olipop to go to his coffee. What is that? You get the coffee and the Ollie Pop.
Well, he's not a coffee guy.
I'm not a coffee guy. I'm a teetotaler.
Oh, that's right. That's tea.
Is that chai tea?
It's either chai tea. Today I'm at a London Fog. It's called little Earl Grey bergamot.
Oh,
Wow.
Earl Grey. I smell you. You are a tea guy. That's right. A little Earl Grey.
But yo, I was at Whole Foods yesterday.
Oh no.
I was going to come up here to grab an Olipop, but I was like, I'm closer to Whole Foods. I ran into Whole Foods and I couldn't even get to the Olipop section. There were 3 people loading up for the week. They're like putting like
get out.
go,
individual like a mixed pack, like 12 at a time. I was like, man,
It's good stuff.
By the way, strong choice on the lid
There you
today.
go.
well,
Every day VG has a different lid. He has the Oilers in preparation for Game 7.
Is it coming home, VG?
I feel good, but I think this might be the last time I wear this hat for a while. You know, this was done because the Flyers have been irrelevant, and I think it retires after tonight with the Michkov news.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a good, but have a nice run.
Yeah, good couple years we had
Hopefully
out
they
of
win
it.
a cup tonight. We're all rooting Edmonton.
Yeah.
You go to the parade, have a little fun, and then call it quits.
I'll watch it. You know what's going to pop out at these Edmonton parades and events with these ladies up there. So yeah, we'll give it a watch.
I love it.
I like it. Good morning, JP.
Buenos dias,
Now,
cuz.
what is that day, Jersey?
So today's a big day for myself and many, many, many Colombians around the world. Our run starts today. A lot of hype for us in Copa America. Starts today at 6 o'clock against Paraguay, so we're all pretty giddy up.
Oh,
over my
yeah? Are you a
household.
favorite? Is the Colombia a favorite?
A lot of
Top
talks.
3? Who was it?
Talks a lot.
Uruguay?
Well, nah. Uruguay's, they're still going. They have a lot of young players they implement.
Because they're pretty good, right?
Yeah, but
No?
it's obviously, it's always Brazil and Argentina. Like, everyone always talks about them. But
USA.
USA had a nice showing yesterday against Bolivia, but, you know.
I was going to ask you about that. Like, they rolled.
They should have
They should have won. They could have scored 7 goals.
killed Bolivia, yeah. That goalie was standing on his head a little bit.
They missed a couple ducks.
Yeah.
I thought you had listen, I don't know. I'm going to use like basketball terminology.
No,
like,
it's all good,
you know,
guys. That's how we cross
had
over.
a couple bunnies, like just waiting to happen.
I like that.
You know, he missed a couple bunnies. Well, all right, so let's talk about this. This is a monster day here because Michkov comes. Now, this is it. This is like the turning of the page that after finally all these years where they were horrible and they were not even in our consciousness. They weren't relevant. Now the Flyers are relevant.
I'm excited. I'm ready to talk Barnes and heavy wristers and clappers and biscuits. Let's go.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Lettuce.
It feels good.
I got to get
I
Andrew
miss
back
them.
in net so I can shoot at him again. We have a great setup here at PHLY. We have this big like warehouse and all this space. So we play all kinds of games, football. So we have hockey.
I brought my Paddle Burry stick from when I was a kid.
And I put Andrew in net. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was
I like
great to
shooting at
watch.
him.
I don't know if Andrew thought it was fun.
All right, so let's look at it. Give me your take on this thing, on Michkov. How long will you think it'll take? And we're going to have Bill Matz joining us. It's the hockey show today. Bill Matz will join us. And, of course, the chief, Craig Berube, who I love. I love Craig Berube.
I love that one.
He's gonna join us today too.
Yeah.
So give me like the whole setup, man. You cover the Flyers with Bill and Charlie.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, this is a big day, right? Because like this is the pick that we were all looking forward to. It was really big for Danny to just stick to his guns and stay there at 7 and select Matvei Michkov when the Canadians decided, we don't feel comfortable with this, so we're gonna allow him to slide. And so at the 7th pick, you pick Matvei Michkov, and guys. A lot of the problems of last year, the Flyers played really hard, right? They played with a lot of heart too. But you notice that they were missing that top end talent. And Matvei Michkov, that's what your hope is. You have that top end talent, someone here who could do a little bit of everything, especially offensively. I don't know how much he's going to help this team in year 1 because he still has to build out that body. Like a lot of people need to remember, he's still really young. He still needs to work out on that body and grow into that body as well. But everyone has the right to feel excited about this move. And I think right now the timetable is what we're going to wait for right now because, listen, from covering the union as well, visas are not fun with athletes. Matvei Michkov, as excited as we are, he's not like Alexander Ovechkin where he could probably get that visa right away. So we'll have to wait for that timetable now.
Just send him to the southern border and be quicker.
Hey.
But listen, once he's here, cuz you're gonna see the talent because it's legit. The skating is crazy. That shot is ridiculous. That quick.
Well, let me ask you. This is what he is, right? Like he is a pure sniper, right? Like he's Barkov. Like who would you say he is? Like give me the comp. Like that's I love the comp. Like who's the guy? Who's the comp? Like he is a tremendous goal scorer, right?
Yeah, just like his tenaciousness with trying to score the puck. Like obviously the big one you hear is Nikita Kucherov. That's very similar. The Cooch.
Does he have that kind of speed?
Well, he still has to build it. And the thing is too is that he came from the KHL. You know, you got the bigger ice. You look a little more faster out there. Curious to see how he looks here in the American ice. But that's the one that everyone keeps talking about. I just think that he still needs to fully develop not only his game here, because obviously in America is a little bit different, and he's still young too. Like he still needs to build out that body.
This takes you back to, dude. This is all day, the beginning like process days, which were actually fun. Like when you got to see, you know, I hate to bring this up, but when I saw Ben Simmons for the first time, I was like, this is awesome. You get to watch a guy. Or Embiid, because remember, everybody said like Embiid is ridiculous. I saw a friend of mine, Scotty Rigo. He was the equipment guy for the Sixers. Scotty sends me Embiid's first practice. He's 5 minutes into practice. Scotty texts me. And he goes, dude, I've never seen a player like this. Yeah. Like at that size, and 5 minutes into his first practice. So like you at least get to look and enjoy something going forward, right? Like this is something to cling to.
Hope. We got some hope.
Hope.
Finally. You haven't really had that with the Flyers over the last decade, right? And so like you more than a decade and a half probably, right? But like this is what we're talking about, like that, like during those Sixers runs, you would get excited seeing Joel and Ben. I remember watching Ben Simmons against Buddy Hield at LSU versus Oklahoma in that one year, and like that when Dario Saric was coming over too. I remember I was getting excited.
Oh yeah, Dario.
One. Yeah, because
I was doing the Dario song.
Yeah,
he stunk. Dario.
We were so excited for him.
Dario.
But giving hope to the Flyers.
You ready to get boned up? I got a comparison. Last Word on Sports did a pretty deep dive on Michkov. The comparison that comes to mind, Sergei Fedorov.
Oh! Are you serious?
Yeah.
Dude! Fedorov! Dude. I love Sergei Fedorov. Yeah. The Red Wings, dude. Yeah. Of course, they skunked us in the finals back in the day before you were a glimmer. The Fedorov, the Rangers were nasty. The Red Wings were nasty. Iserman, Stevie Eyes,
Russian players,
Fedorov.
right?
Oh yeah,
that was their thing.
They were ridiculous. They would fly up and down the ice. How about it?
They say
NHL 97.
Yeah, not to say that Michkov will be the next great Russian player, but he does look like Fedorov with some of his plays that he pulls off and how incredible his shot is.
Oh man!
See, and they have missed. Like having somebody with a shot.
Someone who can score.
Right. Like they're a bunch of Stoneheads.
Yes.
It was like watching Stonehenge every night, man. Like there was a Flyers used to have a guy, and somebody will remember this. You may. They had a guy named Tom Gorence. Do you remember Tom Gorence?
No. Tom Gorence.
Yes, right? TJ Gorence. Right? Tom Gorence was this dude. He was really fast, right? He could skate. He was real fast, but he would go on breakaways all the time, and he would get stoned. He got stoned more than VG. I mean,
that's pretty high praise.
If I told you he couldn't score, if there was an empty net, he couldn't score. Like they're like, this dude was horrible. Like he had no hands. But like the collection of non-goal scores, like we have gone with a number 3 line. Like we've had like third line. We only have second line players. Like the Flyers have had over the last really since the whole purging, right? Forget that 2020 run. That was bogus. All right, forget it. The COVID, the whole thing was bogus. Right? I don't want to hear about bubbles. They haven't been relevant since 2010. I mean, you had to come to the Penguin rivalry early.
That was fun, that series.
But other than that, I mean, you're talking about really just they haven't been
Trent
good.
Klatt years.
Yeah, Trent Klatt. Like, they just can't score. There's no skill. No skill, JP.
I'm just looking forward to.
You remember Tom Gorns?
No.
I thought you would remember.
No.
80s.
I do not.
He was
remember.
an 80s flyer.
I just want to see him also get acclimated with some of the other younger players. Like, I'm very high on Owen Tippett, Morgan Frost. I love his creativity. We always bring up Bobby Brink and Tyson Forster too, but how those young guys can mesh with the Matvei Michkov. And listen, that power play.
I got news for you, though, dude. When it's all said and done,
You don't think some of these guys will be here?
no, we're not going to be on the same line as Michkov. Like, you got to now fill in.
Yeah, no,
Two
for sure,
spots.
for sure.
Right? Like, you got to fill into, like,
Yeah.
Tippett's a nice story, right? Frost, we'll see. Like, watch tonight, right? Like, you watch that series and you see the level of skill on both sides, right? Like, when you're watching Edmonton, I mean, they have ridiculous skill.
Top end
They
talent.
hit on some draft picks, man. Drysaddle,
Yes.
Nugent Hopkins.
Yes.
Here's the courts. In 1979-80, 51 games, he had 8 goals. He's a second-round winger.
Yes.
Hold on, 303 games played, 58 goals.
Yeah. That was our life. And again, back then they scored goals.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
then, like, Edmonton was popping in. It was Gretzky and,
Yeah.
Glenn Anderson and that whole crowd.
And also, I'm hoping too, with Michkov, he becomes the face of the franchise too, because I feel like we haven't had that since probably Claude Giroux.
I don't even think there's an option. He has to be the face of the franchise.
Yeah.
Be nice to have.
I got news for you. And I like G. I was not one of these G haters. I like G. But they really haven't had a face of the franchise since 88.
Well,
And that's the truth of the matter.
well, G didn't win.
What's that?
G didn't win.
Well, nobody won. Nobody's won since 1975. So it's not about winning. He wasn't good enough to become the face of a franchise. He was a terrific player, and I'm a huge G fan. But, like, you're talking about an epic player. Like, you need to be a face of the franchise, you got to be epic.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a very, very good player.
Yeah.
Skilled, terrific. Like, he needed somebody with him, like, to be that guy.
Yeah, and we're seeing
Right?
that now. And since he's left Philly, I mean, he went to that Florida team at the deadline. They didn't do anything that year, and Ottawa is just a joke these past 2 seasons.
Yeah, like, again, you got to think about it, right? Like, those dudes, and this is where you haven't seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you haven't seen a true epic player come through here. And Lindros was the last one.
Yeah,
How's your boy handle it? Torts good with this kid?
a lot of people talking about that too.
Yeah, it's
Torts
a
and
wild
Michkov.
card here.
Listen, I got to believe that Tortorella finally has talent, right? Come in here.
Yeah,
I got to believe that he's...
Can he have a sit down? Can Jonesy Brer be like, listen, this is the kid.
I'm not
Don't be
worried.
an a-hole to him.
Listen, I'm not worried about that because I do think, first of all, I know how excited that entire franchise is over Michkov. They're not going to let Tortorella go run roughshod over their prized possession. There are a lot of smart people there. I mean, I you know how I feel about Jonesy, Danny. All right, they understand what he means. Dan Helferty, who is terrific as the CEO, like they understand they need this. Listen, they've been big crickets in that building for a decade.
Oh,
So
there's a lot of people in that building.
and Tortorella's not stupid. Tortorella's a winner. He's not dumb. He realizes that he knows what he's got to do.
But last year he did a lot of decisions were about the culture, the overall culture down the line. So the minute Michkov, and we don't know how Michkov's going to be as a player on an everyday game, but the minute Michkov doesn't get on the other end and play defense, is Torts bench him. And if he does, how's his fan base going to take that? These are all things people are wondering.
I don't even think he's benchable.
I mean, I agree. He shouldn't, but I don't know.
But you can't.
I don't know.
But you got to understand how to. Yeah, but he can't be a wild card. This is where sanity has to take over, right? Like, you finally get a player. Now, again, I don't know anything about Michkov as a kid. I don't know.
Right,
Is he a hard worker? Is he not? Is he all skill? I don't know anything about the kid. It's impossible for us to figure it out. And you're going to have a language barrier, a cultural barrier. like one of the things that we got to talk. Which matter?
It'd be great if they just hired a translator and they were just like, whatever Torch says, just give them positive.
Oh yeah,
the positive.
yeah, exactly.
You're doing
great, son.
Yeah, doing great. Kid, like the work. Keep up the hard work.
That's the best. As long as he doesn't go the Otani interpreter route.
Oh man.
I do like the fact that he played with men, right? In this KHL league. They're not like other college kids.
Dude, here's the other thing. And this is a story I really always wanted to do. I want to go to Europe and look and watch how they play all the our sports. Hockey, basketball, right? And how insane they are. Like they're rough. Like they're nasty.
Yeah.
Used to be like, oh, the Euros were soft. Not anymore, man. Like they're nasty.
Especially as young kids are playing.
And they are.
Grown-ass men.
Like look at Luka. You wonder why Luka has incredible
spot on.
Right? He's 16 years old playing against men who are messing with him.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're bleeping with you. You're a 25, 30-year-old dude, and you got Luka Doncic. You're going, listen, pimple face, whatever. Like I'm gonna smack the bleep out of you right now.
Get over your pepperoni face.
I mean, seriously. It'd be like if Versace over here played in the NBA in Europe.
He'd be a changed man after a year.
Yeah.
I give a shout out Yoda, Coach.
Versace's our intern, the brain's son.
Coach Reagan at Holy Innocent CYO. Between 7th and 8th grade, he put us in the Piccoli Playground over 30 men's league, and we were all like 13 years old and told them to give it to us, and they beat the hell out of us for a whole summer.
Genius. I love it.
Yeah, they crushed
Are you
us.
serious?
Yeah, we would get dominated and beat on the whole time, but it was such like a growth spurt for us.
That is a great idea.
Dude, I love that.
That's how you learn.
Yeah. By the way, that's one of our next projects to write. I just wrote it down. All right. That's a great move.
Yeah, it was funny.
Great sports move.
Yeah, he brought in one guy from North Catholic, Mike McCarron, who actually played with the Washington Generals to give us be our point guard so we wouldn't get obliterated. But yeah, we got beat the hell up that whole summer.
Well, that's great. Yeah. That's a genius move.
He was like an old bar guy, so he told all his pub friends, he's like, come on, I'm going to bring my kids out. Just give them a hard time.
That's
awesome.
Pub friends.
Really? Stumble in, it was called.
Listen, the word pub is like a clean version of a bar. Like, and those corner bars in Philadelphia were bars. They weren't pubs. You find a pub in London.
Tap rooms.
That was a bar. A dirty ass, skunk beer bar.
Yep.
That's what that was.
Serving beer in plastic cups? Is that what they do?
It was the Stumble In at M and Luzerne in Juniata Park. Yeah. A Chinese restaurant, I think.
Every bar, listen, dude, in Philadelphia, back in the day, every corner was a bar on every corner.
Yeah.
It was, seriously, every other corner, there was bars. And there were corner bars. And you walked into these places, and they were, the typical bar fly that you see. This is where all the neighborhood men came after work.
Yeah.
Shift work. You worked down the docks. They would come in for shift work.
Now, off of the first Rocky, would you see like the drunk passed out in the bathroom while you're taking a piss?
Yeah, you have a little respect when you're into the bathroom. All right, show some respect.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. With that scene, where Paulie goes into the bathroom, and it's a broken mirror, and he's got 7 hairs, and he's trying to comb them, and he's looking into this broken mirror. That's real. Like that was a real bar. Yeah,
love that scene.
Yeah, it was a great scene. All right, we've already covered way too much. You know that.
Too much.
Well, we've covered everything. We've been in bars now. Yeah. We got Michkov.
We're not even at the clubhouse, guys.
I know. All right. Let's do this because you got Bill Matz coming up. Very excited. Of course, the Chief. I'm thrilled to talk to the Chief a little bit later today, which will be a lot of fun. I know you got something for us.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Guys, real quick, let's talk about our friends over at Trumark Financial. All right, because this weekend, listen, my beautiful bride-to-be, Nat, love you. We had our bridal shower on Saturday. We had the after party after. So, we had a lot of people over the house, having nice conversations. And, someone actually did bring up their finances and their bank and how they're so upset with them. And of course, you know me, guys. I always try to look out after everybody, all right? So I recommend it to my buddy, Trumark Financial. And I explained to him exactly why he should consider a bank like Trumark Financial. Because not just a bank, guys, they're a credit union. And when you choose a credit union like Trumark Financial, you become a part owner, which means profits are coming right back to you instead of going to those shareholders. They have better rates, lower fees, and a better return on savings with more flexible options, including all those same digital tools that you can experience with your bank here today. And the best part about it, they are located here in the Philadelphia area. They're headquartered in Fort Washington. They have 24 branches around the Philadelphia area. And as we always say, we root for local, and that's why we love Trumark Financial. Becoming a credit union, becoming a member of a credit union has so many benefits over becoming a customer at a bank. And here's what you got to do here today. Head on over to Trumark.com/PHLY. Again, that's Trumark.com/PHLY. Or, like we talked about, 24 branches in this area. If you're like myself, a little bit more old school, you like to talk to someone in person, you can do that at some of these branches. They have great people at all of these branches. Ask any questions that you may be having here today. Again, that's Trumark.com/PHLY, federally insured by the NCUA. And thank you to our friends over at Trumark Financial.
All right, buddy. So here's the deal. It's a Monday. It's actually beautiful this morning after the rains.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, because it was wicked over the weekend. I had baseball all weekend, and I felt bad for the kids.
Yeah.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's 1,000 degrees, and like nobody wants to play, and it was just bad. No, you don't want to cook this weather because we're going to get another shot of the heat coming up. Here's what you do. You go look on your phone. You find PrimoHoagies.com. It'll give you one of the locations nearest you. All right? You put in your zip code. The Primo's closest by will come there. You see the menu, and you go, this is for dinner, everyone. We're going to Primo's. And the beauty is everybody will smile. Everybody will be happy because there's nothing like the great taste of Primo Hoagies. Like the original in South Philadelphia. It was on Ritter Street, right down the street from Brothers 2. Right, it was a great bar. It was called the Brothers 2 Lounge.
Were you
Brothers
16
Z2
Brothers,
Lounge.
16 when you were?
We didn't really go in there much. We went to the Malones, but we used to go. That was close by too. But my other friends went to the Brothers 2 a lot. Sal Dutch, all the people.
Dutch. Great name, Dutch.
It is a great name. Anyway, I digress because this is about Primos, man. Only the best meats and cheeses piled high on that fresh seeded roll. Nothing like it. You want the classic Italian or classic ham, turkey. Do you want the meatball, chicken cutlet? It's all there. The veggie. You can't beat it. Go to PrimoHoagies.com. You'll say what I always say. It's not just a hoagie. It's a Primo. All right. Now, let's talk a little more pucks with our man from the All PHLY Flyers show. Does such a great job with, he makes me laugh, with Charlie O'Connor. He is the great Bill Matz. I love Bill. He's one of my favorites.
He's a feel-good face.
I have to admit, I love our entire staff. Bill is one of these dudes that he's impossible not to love. Just look at him. Look at his shirt. I love his shirt. Billy, good morning, buddy.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we on this beautiful Michkov Monday?
It is a Michkov Monday. That's what I said when we started. Michkov Monday, baby. It's awesome.
I've been waiting for this a year now. It feels like a lot longer, and you guys nailed it. This is the biggest prospect we've had since Lindros. It's just a great day to be a Flyers fan, and I feel like I've been celebrating since we found out yesterday, and happy to be here to talk about him some more.
All right, so Billy, let's talk a couple things. One, and by the way, this is the big story. Obviously, Matvei Michkov is our story of the day. That's brought to you by Trumark Financial Credit Union. Check out Trumark.com/PHLY for the credit union difference. Billy, examine who he is as a player, what all the scouting reports. We hear about, VG told me people are using Sergei Fedorov as a comp. What does he do well?
Yeah, I think I I hate when it's just, okay, we're going to compare. Well, he's a Russian player, so we're going to compare to another Russian player. But they are developed very similarly. Like, you come up through the ranks there in the KHL or whatever the league was called back when Fedorov was there, and you end up developing a certain way. And I do think there are comps to Fedorov, to in the league currently, Nikita Kucherov, but he's a bit more of a natural goal scorer. I don't know if it's going to be a 100 assist season like Nikita Kucherov just put up, but he could be that 120, 140 point guy if he really hits his ceiling. Offensive wizard is what everyone says about him, his playing style. He's looking to score, but obviously in the offensive end, it's put the puck in the net by any means necessary. He's also very good at setting up his teammates, just creating scoring chances, whether it's on his own or using his line mates. In the offensive end, his game is very mature.
So you're saying he's incredibly creative, right? Like,
yes.
Does he have a blast of a slap shot? Is he got the heavy wrister? What's his shot that he's known for?
He's got a very good wrist shot, and he scores in and around the net a lot. I know he's kind of undersized, but from behind the net, he creates a lot. He tries the Michigan like once a week. It's the lacrosse style goal. He just comes up with different ways to score, regardless of the situation. He's good battling through contact and kind of getting around, making sure he can get to the net regardless of how hard he's being checked. I would say it's wrist shot and then breakaways off the rush, deking, whatever it takes. He finds a variety of ways to score the puck.
Yeah, that's what's going to be so exciting is that he's got that kind of flash too. Like that has been missing, Billy. It's been real decades. I mean, the Flyers were never known. In fact, the Flyers were always known for muckers and grinders, not flash. And now you have someone that brings this excitement. I mean, oh my God, it's so stark different than anything we've seen, I think.
It absolutely is. You talked about Lindros. Like, Lindros was a wonder and a bulldozer. It was like, how can he have so much finesse and also be bigger than everyone out there? Like, he was a freak of nature. And the the 08 to 11 team, no one single superstar, just a good collection of really good players. Giroux by himself, that's what he was, kind of just by himself out there. Him and Voracek, I wouldn't call them superstars, but excellent players. This is the first shot we've had at one of these guys in a long time. I asked Charlie, so ceiling of a top 10 forward? And he said, yes, absolutely. That's what we think this guy can be. Someone like a Nikita Kucherov who, has a Hart Trophy under his belt, is a finalist again this year. Just, a perennial star player in this league.
Wow. That's just music, man. We were talking about, it's tonight, Game 7, right? Edmonton and Florida, and it's been a wonderful series. It really has. Edmonton, the story of the Oilers has been awesome. And I'm looking at past Game 7s for the Flyers, right? And I'm going, man, I just miss it. And I think this is the Flyers' first step back into relevancy, right? Because we know that next year is not the year, right, about winning. But next year you have a reason to watch. And that's what we haven't had, a reason to watch them. Now you get excited, you watch them night in, night out.
Absolutely. Last season was a nice little change. They competed hard. They came down to game 82. Yeah, you can't ask for much more than that from a rebuilding team. But they did change their offense last year, and John Tortorella gave the reason why. He said, when the Mad Russian gets here, we need to be ready to go and play more to his style. Well, he's here now. You actually have set up a style of play that is going to suit your best player now, and you get to watch him on a nightly basis. Listen, he's not going to turn 20 years old until December 9th. This This is a teenager we're talking about. This is a teenager right now. Like a guy who graduated high school, like 13 months ago, if he was in the U.S. Like, temper expectations in terms of superstar right away, but he can grow into it, and he's going to give us reasons on a nightly basis to go, oh, that's the guy right there. When this kid's 24 years old, yeah, that's it right there.
I love that. I do. And you're spot on about tempered expectations. By the way, draft's coming up this weekend. Very excited for that. You've been hearing rumors about a possible trade-up. What do you think, buddy?
Very exciting. Danny Briere is going to be aggressive at the draft because he knows this is how they have to get their talent. This is how they have to acquire the core of what is hopefully the next great Flyers team. And they tried to trade up last year. They weren't sure if Michkov was going to make it all the way down to 7. Luckily, Montreal did not take him at 5. They were trying to get the 5th pick. Ultimately, weren't able to, but their guy fell to them. This year, they have 2 picks again, depending on the outcome of tonight's game, 31 or 32, as well as 12. I think they're going to do everything they can to get into the top 10, whether it's using 12 to get up to 7, as has been the rumor, or using 32 and maybe Scott Lawton and some other assets to get another top 10, top 15 pick. I think they're going to work to get to move up in this draft, because after 15, 16, it kind of falls off. You want to be in that top 15 as much as you can, and they're a rebuilding team, but they're not tanking. So they're not going to have a whole bunch of those 2nd, 3rd overall picks. To get into the top 10, you got to use your assets to get up there, and I think Briere is aware of that.
All right, this portion of the program brought to you by the Bet Park Sportsbook and Casino app. Who's the target? Like, if you get up to 7, who are you looking at that spot? Give me a couple names.
I think they're going to be looking for a defenseman if they get up to 7, especially now with Matvei Michkov coming over. You kind of have some resolution, at least at forward, maybe not at center, but at least at forward. Zeev Bouillon, who just won a national championship at Denver, I think they're really high on. And Sam Dickinson, a defenseman who plays for the London Knights. The relationship with the London Knights is really strong. Jonesy, good friends with the Hunters. Mark Hunter's the coach there. His brother's the GM. So I think they really like the development there. They know it's not going to be a Cutter Gauthier situation. The coach and everyone there is going to be like, no, go play for the Flyers. It's a great organization. They have a couple of players there already. Oliver Bonk, 1st-round pick last year, and Denver Barkey, I think he was a 3rd rounder. So they have ties there. I think it's going to be one of those 2 defensemen if they can trade up.
All right, so Billy, the last thing is now the quest for the centerman that will go with Michkov on the first line. Is that like the next 2 years is to unearth wherever you can that 6'3", centerman that could play in the middle and be that guy to set up Michkov?
No, that true first-line center is really what they're missing. I think they're going to come away from last year's draft and this year's draft with a good amount of defensemen. I don't know if they have that guy yet, but I think they're willing to give the group they're going to have a try after this year's draft. That 1C is the most important thing right now. Someone to play with Matvei Michkov. They have a lot of wingers. They're pretty stocked at wing. I think you can make a really good first line out of Matvei Michkov and Tyson Forster and then find a first line center. But that's the hardest thing to find, is that guy. And they're pretty high on next year's draft. It's just an all-around deeper draft. This year's deeper at defense. We'll see when the run is, if they have to trade up to get a defender. But I think between today and next draft is where they're going to really start targeting. We need that first-line center.
Yeah. Listen, you'll have money then, too. So if you want to go, hit the free agent market, once, he blossoms, once you get Michkov to blossom, it's going to be a lot of fun, dude.
Can I ask Bill something real quick?
Ask him something, man.
So I know Bill bet on basically everyone in the playoffs except Edmonton to win the Cup. So are you hedging tonight, your bet at all?
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I got to get on that Bet Park Sportsbook app and really just go heavy on Edmonton because, they come back from 3-0 to lose? Like, right. I don't know how I pulled this off, basically having futures on the entire league except the best player in the league, but yeah, I guess I'm great at this.
So you have a future on Florida?
I do, yes.
What's the payout?
It's only going to be like $200.
No, I don't what were the odds?
Mortgage.
Not the money part. What were the odds?
Yeah. It was, I think I got him at 2 or 3 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, listen, good luck to you, Billy. I love you, buddy. You know that. You know you're one of my guys. You know that. Yeah, you're the best, buddy.
My guy, Ant.
Thanks, pal. Enjoy it. I love your enthusiasm. You are the best. That's Bill Matz. You got to check him out with Charlie O'Connor, who's terrific. They do such a great job on the All PHLY Flyers show. And, of course, make sure you read everything Charlie writes. And he is incredible as an insider. It's now time for the brain.
Red, the brain, Feinberg.
Well, good morning, Brain. This is the Daily
Good morning,
Grind.
my friend. How are you?
Good. This is the great Brad Feinberg, my dear friend. Now, Brain, let me ask you before we get into business at hand. Your son Carson is our intern. We found out last week that he was shopping on Rodeo Drive for his Versace robe. Today, he came in complaining that he had blisters on his hands. And I'm thinking to myself, what did you do? Did you do some hard work? Did you unload an aircraft? Did you, I don't know, do something manual? And he said, no, he got blisters from his golf lessons.
Yeah. Let me tell you something funny. I used to, when I was his age, I was working on the trucks. I know
you were.
In my warehouse, and I used to come out of there with soot.
Right.
When I would sneeze, this black stuff would come out of my nose that I've never seen before. I didn't know it was possible to have this stuff I had coming out of me. And I did that, man. I was like, there were like 9-hour days, and it would be 100 degrees on those trucks. And I did, but yeah, that versus golf lessons.
Yeah, I have your permission to torture him, right?
Oh, done and done.
Yeah.
Done and done.
Yeah. Just so we're clear. Just so Carson and I are clear.
He's poking at you a little bit, Carson.
Yeah, he came back at me today. And he did it like 3 seconds before I was going to go on the air. Because I already told him that I have carte blanche from your father
100% carte blanche.
To give you tough love. All right?
He gave you the old, I'd like to see you try.
Yeah. I was going to hang him outside the window. All right? We're 7 floors up, right by his ankles. We were going to do that, Dad. We'll have him. Don't worry. It's tough love. We love him.
I trust you, man.
You're
not going to go Michael Jackson on him, are you?
No, man. Come on. No, I love the
Michael
kid.
Jackson. Do you remember that? No, but do you remember Michael Jackson did that to the kid? He put the kid over the thing. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
No, what are you doing?
Blanket was the kid I think he hung over the balcony.
He
Oh,
put the kid over the balcony. Like, no joke. I'm like, what?
No. We're joking about it. But first of all, anybody with Michael Jackson, I don't even want to go there. So, anyway, let's forget all that. Let's discuss tonight's Game 7.
Yeah.
And how about it? The Oil Kings do it again.
It's amazing, Anthony. I know, look, these things, hockey, Anthony, and I think you would agree, is just a different sport. It really is. It's not, to me, like basketball. It's not like football. It's just different. Where I feel like we talked about it, it's a hard sport to handicap. It's difficult, and I know from speaking to you before, you're like, okay, you think Edmonton probably has this figured out, and they're going to do it. And you're right. I always talk about being consistent versus being right. But here's the thing I will say. The game price has gone down dramatically from what these other games in Florida were. Now, you probably say deservedly so. But what I'm still just thinking to myself, this is a Florida team that's not a one-trick pony in the sense that this is not their first rodeo, so to speak. While they haven't won a cup, they were here last year. So they have gone through the gauntlet, right? They really have. So I don't think it's going to be a situation where they're just like, oh my God, they've gone through this 2 years in a row, and they're basically Game 7. I still think, and I don't know. I because it's a pick 'em kind of price. I'm going to lean Florida. Not betting it. Let me make this clear. Giving it out. My client's not going to give it out in your show, but yeah, you want my opinion. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. But I know, Anthony, I talk about these low scores. If you want the under, I'd bet under in the first period, under 1.5 on parks, as opposed to the game line. And Anthony, you know why? You can fill in the blank. Why would I not want the under in the game?
Well, because we talk about this, the empty nets
Exactly.
that happen at the end of the game. If you're down 2-1, they're going to pull the goalie with 5 minutes to go, and the next thing you know, they're going to pour in empty netters.
Yeah, exactly.
We talked about that a while. Listen, I get your point. Like, listen, Florida has been there. I'm obviously rooting Edmonton just for GP because I don't think Florida deserves a cup. But
the same way.
The fans deserve a cup. But I get your point. It would not surprise me, and you're getting a decent price, at home, for what it's worth.
Yeah, something like that. So again, the only way I can look personally in terms of betting it would be the Florida side. But listen, again, like before, I thought Edmonton was the right side based on they were getting such a nice price, but now the price is basically a pick 'em. So Edmonton's no longer getting that price. If I was getting plus $1.25 on Edmonton, I'm on Edmonton. For me, this is honestly, Anthony, my honest opinion, I think they play this game 100 times. Let's call it 52-48 Florida. I think it's really tight. I think it's going to be a close game. I really do.
Brad, can I ask you the line? Florida came out like -125, -126. They're down to -114. Do you give any credence to that? Does that make you go one side or the other?
No, because listen, I get it, right? Like, first of all, again, like right now, the easy thing to do, and again, I'm not criticizing anyone for doing it. The easy thing to do is say, I like Edmonton. They've won 3 in a row. They have the marquee players in the series. Florida's look, like, the last 3 games. Right now, Edmonton's the comfort food, right? They're eating the piece of pizza. They're the cheeseburger. It's just easy to do. The hard thing right now to do is to bet a Florida team that's got their butts kicked 3 in a row, that doesn't have, the frontline talent like that. Obviously, guys like McDavid and Draisaitl are. So no, I thought people would be on the Edmonton side, but again, I get why they're saying that. But no, from a betting perspective, the fact it's gone down 10 cents. No, again, for me, I think this game is going to be a very close game. I think it'll be a 1-goal, lower scoring game. But as I said, I would rather take under 1.5 in the first period. Game 7s, guys, in hockey always tend to be much more lower scoring. So again, I lean under, but again, I like the first period under just because I don't want to deal with the shenanigans at the end of the game.
Yeah, it makes sense. No, that makes sense. And listen, I don't think you could handicap the game. Like, quite frankly, Game 7 is you're flipping coins, man.
You're flipping coins. That's exactly right, Anthony. Anthony, you just said it. Honestly, listen, if you want to bet the thing and have fun and enjoy yourself with your buddies and park site and bet the game, absolutely, by all means, do it. But am I going to tell you there's an edge in this Game 7 where if you were betting this every single day for the rest of your life, you'd be able to, be making a nice living doing this? No. I'm going to be honest. That's an efficient, correct line. I don't think there's really any edge betting it either way other than just for personal enjoyment if you want to do it.
Yeah. I feel you. And that's why it's a lesson because VG brings up the line and the movement of the line. And quite frankly, I don't believe in that. I don't know if you do. I don't believe in the line move. Everybody's steaming the Giants this week. And I don't believe in that stuff. Or the other one, which is all the public money is on the Giants. Right. And the line hasn't moved against the Ravens. Where the money goes is irrelevant. I just think it's about handicapping the game.
Yeah, getting it right. Yeah, I agree with you 100%, Anthony. Getting it right.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, any baseball, brother?
Yeah, Anthony, listen, I got a couple things today. I'm going to start off with Lance Lynn. Okay, Lance Lynn. Anthony, it's funny. We talked about Bobby Jones and Joe Blanton last week, right? To me, Lance Lynn has hit the Bobby Jones, Joe Blanton stage of his career, where he's had a good career, a very nice career. But at this point, I think he's more of an innings eater. Well, not even innings eater. I shouldn't even say innings eater because I'm betting under his out.
He's an eater.
But more of just a guy who goes, just an eater. Yeah, like me. He's become like me. He's just an eater. But anyway, Lance Lynn, he's gone under 17.5 outs, 12 of 15 games. Okay, and his highest he's gotten is 18 all year. Look, the Braves are not the same lineup they were, Anthony, last year without, I get it, Acuna. but it's still a good lineup. You can't tell me it's not a good lineup. Lynn, to me, is not, again, I think he's a very hittable, below average pitcher at this point. I don't think he gets 6 innings here. I think he gets between 4 and 5 2/3. I like Lance Lynn, minus 127 on the park site, under 17.5 outs. I like Cole Ragans over 6.5 strikeouts versus a very average Marlins team, Anthony. Ragans has gone over this 10 to 16 times.
I'll tell you one thing. That Kansas City team is going to be good. They got
100%.
some good young pitching, man. Like, we know about Bobby Witt and Perez and Pasquantino and Garcia. They have good bats, but their pitching is underrated. Like, they have some good young arms.
Well, it's interesting. They made a couple free agent signings, which really helped their team. Like, look at the ERA leaders. You're going to see Seth Ligo at the top of the board. And they got him from the Padres, and they got Michael Walker. They got 2 solid guys that have pitched really well and helped them. And obviously, Reagan's, to me, is their number 1 guy. And obviously, Brady Singer, young guys, pitch well. But Reagan's over 6.5 Ks, Anthony. I would have made it 7.5 against the Marlins. I think he'll get enough innings pitched. And I like them minus 1.5 in the game. The Marlins, again, the worst team in baseball. Well, them or the White Sox. Munoz is a very below-average pitcher. Again, when I'm laying a 1.5 like I did the other day with the Phillies against the Diamondbacks, I have to do 2 things. I have to trust my pitcher to allow 2 or less runs. I trust Reagans will do that. And I have to feel like my team will score 6+. I think they can do this against a very below-average Marlins pitching staff. I like KC minus 1.5 as my third bet of the day.
I love it. At Brad'sBestBets.com. At Brad's Best Bets on Twitter. He is awesome. Brother, we love you. Great stuff, buddy. We'll talk to you tomorrow for the grind.
Tough love. Give us tough love.
Tough love for the kid. I like it. You got it, buddy. All right, see, pal. There he is, the brain checking in. Let me tell you about Parks Casino, because the brain brings us Parks Casino. It's perfect for after-work get-togethers, date night, girls' night out. Sip on tantalizing drinks. Soak up those warmer weather good vibes right now at Parks Casino. Parks Casino, this is how you win. My casino of choice now offers an epic $5 happy hour. Great food and drink every Wednesday through Sunday at the Liberty Bell Gastropub. Make it this week, man. Head over. Enjoy $5 drafts of Ford Stout, Victory Seasonal, Parks Pills. Enjoy $5 glasses of Albertoni Cabernet. Enjoy the drink of summer. $5 Twisted Tea Frozen Whiskey Arnold Palmer's. Plus, you can feast on a flavor pack, $5 small plates, the Braised Short Rib Sliders, Hot Honey Chicken Sliders, Rotisserie Chicken Flatbreads. You can't beat it. It's a blast. The all-new Parks Casino Epic Happy Hour. It's a $5 happy hour happening right now. Summers are here, and all roads lead to Parks Casino, the #1 casino in Pennsylvania. 3,200 state-of-the-art slots, 115 live table games, beautiful poker room, sports book, incredible collection of award-winning restaurants. And check out my man, Joe Conklin's Comedy Night. He's got the headliner, Joe Bartnick. He does it all. The best cover bands every weekend, only at 360 Lounge. Headliners every week at the 1,500-seat Excite Center at Parks Casino. Tiffany Haddish on September 27th. She's hysterical. Tickets for all shows at parkscasino.com. Got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, coming up, I love this guy, the Chief. All right, Craig Berube. But first, JP, what do you got to say?
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Let's talk real quick about our friends over at Rite Aid, guys. It's summertime, and Rite Aid has everything you need, whether it be allergy relief, some supplies for your barbecue. Maybe you're going to the beach or the pool for a day. Everything you need. It's your one-stop shop at Rite Aid, guys. And let's talk a little bit about the services that they provide for us. With a My Pharmacy account at Rite Aid, you can refill your prescriptions, schedule a vaccine, get personalized care recommendations, sign up for prescription notifications. All you need to get started is a prescription at Rite Aid. Get started today at riteaid.com/mypharmacy. Stop stressing about those prescriptions. Let Rite Aid refill them automatically. Enroll in automated courtesy refills. It's free, easy, and most prescriptions will qualify. Talk with your Rite Aid pharmacist or sign up through My Pharmacy account at riteaid.com. Restrictions may apply. Get your prescriptions at the same time with one-trip refills. Ask your pharmacist to sync your medications so you can pick them up with one visit. You can sync with other family members as well. Just ask your local Rite Aid pharmacist to get started. Again, restrictions may apply. Manage prescriptions with the Rite Aid mobile app. Transfer or refill your prescriptions. Set up medication reminders. Enroll in prescription notifications. Download the app here today. Wherever you download apps, you can find it there as well. Transfer prescriptions to Rite Aid today. Just go to riteaid.com/transfer. Rite Aid caring pharmacists are ready to answer your questions and help you stay healthy. Get your prescriptions along with anything at Rite Aid you may need, including over-the-counter medications, household products, cosmetics, and much more. Just ask your pharmacy team for details. Restrictions may apply. Guys, if you need anything for the summer, obviously today we have a big one with Columbia at 6 o'clock, and we need some party supplies, all right? Paper plates, those plastic cups, all you may need with Rite Aid. So make sure you guys check out our friends over at Rite Aid.
JP. Got a big one with Columbia.
I thought you
we got game 7 tonight.
Game 7.
Oh, no, big one with Columbia. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
It's
game
the Copa.
and Brad tells you
It's the Copacabana.
hockey game 7s are impossible to handicap. Like, it's like so much fun tonight. You have no
I
idea
know,
what's going to
it's
happen. I'm
exciting.
so in on
Nah,
a game
I'm just
7.
I'm teasing.
The
I
way
gotta tease
we're
you.
tortured as Sixers fans, the way I'm tortured as a Colombian soccer fan. So.
Dude, I got to tease you. You know that.
I bet your Chiefs excited about this.
I can't wait
this
to
soccer game.
go. 10 o'clock hour is brought to you by Trumark Financial Credit Union. Check out trumark.com/PHLY to see the credit union difference at Trumark today. Well, yeah, I love our next guest. He was the best. Whether it was on the ice, behind the bench, he should still be behind the bench. He's incredible as an analyst. He's the best. We love him. Craig Berube, the Chief, joins us. Chief, what do you say, brother?
Thanks
You
for
looking
having me
good,
on,
man.
Anthony. Appreciate it.
First of all, do you enjoy the analysis? Because I thought you did great at it. I loved it. Loved your stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was good for the time. Like, I wasn't, I was obviously let go and wasn't coaching, so it was a good way to kind of, stay in the game and be around. And I did like it. TNT was great. They treated me great, and I enjoyed it while it lasted. But I still wanted to coach, so I got back in the game, which is where I wanted to be.
Yeah, listen, you belong behind the bench. All right. You it's amazing, right? You became such an incredible coach. I was talking to Jonesy about you. This is I don't know, maybe about 6 months ago. We were just talking because everybody loves you. And we were talking about how great a coach that you became. Did you what's the X and O of it? How did you become such a terrific coach? Like, did you study it? Like, did you what was the secret behind that?
Well, I appreciate the compliments. I mean, I think being a good coach is you're always trying to learn, all the time. And I think you got to it's important to listen to people and, get new ideas and things like that. And I think I'm good at that. I think I like to talk the game and I like to listen to people. But, when I got into coaching, I worked with John Stevens with the Phantoms. And Johnny Stevens is a real good coach.
Yeah.
Very smart X and O guy, knows the game extremely well. I learned a lot from him. And then, Hitch is down the hall coaching the Flyers. So Hitch is around. So you get a different perspective, and I knew Hitch well from junior hockey and stuff. So I had two great guys that really I learned a lot from early on in my career. And then I think as you go along as a coach, you just become who you are as a coach and just be yourself. And, I think that's the most important thing. And there's different types of coaches. They do different things. They, there's player coaches and there's this kind of coaches, whatever they want to call them. But just be yourself. And I think, you gotta take information in from people. I think, not only are assistant coaches, but other coaches around. And I've always confided into other people and other coaches and try to learn more. And that's just, I keep banging away at it.
You know what? It must be because it's like this in all sports, whether it's football or baseball, basketball. If you're if you're not a star players for some reason, I think because of what you said, because it came so easy to them and they feel like they have the answers, that it's rare to get a star player that's a great coach. It's usually a guy that worked hard. You want to talk about mucker grinder, whatever you want to, fighter, whatever you want to be. Those kinds of guys become really good coaches. And I guess it's because they're easier to listen. They listen to people, and they understand about being one of the guys.
Well, I agree with you, and I think like you said, star players, the game came to them easily. Like it came to them easily up here in the mind, I believe. But that doesn't work for everybody. And as a coach, I think a guy like myself and players like myself, Rick Tocchet, these types of guys that had to work at it and do different things, we can relate to these guys. It doesn't come that easy to them. We can help them, and we can help them grow as players and become better players because we had to do it. And I think that's a big part of coaching. A big part of coaching in today's world is relationships and communication with all these types of players now, the younger generation. You got to be a real good communicator, and you got to be willing to talk to your players consistently all the time. It's not like the old days where you didn't have to say anything.
Yeah,
I think that's a big thing. I mean, I look at all the successful coaches around, like they're real good communicators.
And you're right. And especially, it's like this in every sport, right? You have new generation come in. And in this generation, it's different. Like you can't just be kicking them in the ass constantly, right? Like you got to have a balance, and you got to get love. Like that's got to be a part of it, because they almost seek that. They seek that from elders. I think we all do as human beings. Like we seek love and from your elders. I think that's an important thing.
Oh, it is, for sure. As much as you got to kick them in the butt once in a while, you got to praise them and you got to let them know they're doing a great job. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel good about themselves. And the old tactics of trying to scare them into playing and all this, that's gone. That's out the window. These guys, they got contracts, they make lots of money. They want to be successful, but you got to do it in a different way nowadays.
How do you so the Flyers are bringing in Matvei Michkov, who's going to be their the epic centerpiece, right? How do you approach coaching a kid like that from Russia? It's going to be a completely different change culturally. He's 19 years old. How do you go just mentality wise into coaching someone like that who's not from here, right? Who's not from North America?
Well, first of all, for me, it would start in the summer. And I think, whether you go and see him or, he comes here and spends some time and you spend some time with him, get him to know everything that's going on and what's expected. And that's really important. Getting him comfortable with the coach, and getting comfortable with what's expected out of him and what I expect out of him if I was coaching him, and what he can expect from me. I think that's really important, and that's a good start. For him to come into camp, he has to have some comfort level, and then it's a process. I think a young kid like that coming from Russia is a talented player, but he's coming into a totally different league than the KHL. It's going to be a little bit of awakening for him. You got to have patience, and you just got to keep working with them, and it's going to be a daily process. And also, it's important that you get the leaders on your team to really work with this kid and help him out. That's going to be key.
The great Craig Berube, the chief, with us right now. What's the difference, the biggest difference between the Eastern European players and the Russian players as opposed to the North American kids?
Style of play, the way they see the game and how they played it. I think the Russian players more than any other ones, maybe the Czech players a little bit, they see the game all as skill and making plays and doing all these things, and they play that way over there. It's a different style, and so you got to kind of get that out of them a little bit. Now, you don't want to take their skill away from them, and you don't want to take the stick out of their hands. You want them to continue to do the things that they do great, because they are real good skilled players. But they just have to adapt to a little bit of I call it a north-south game here in North America in the NHL. It's a little different, and it takes a little time, but they'll get it. Like you look at all the great Russian players that come over. Eventually, they figure it out, and they're very good players.
Is that just rink size? Is that the biggest factor?
Rink size is partial. It's a little bit of it, but I think it's just mindset and how they think the game and how they're taught over there. They have the puck. They don't want to give it up. Like that's their mindset. But in the NHL, sometimes there's going to be, you got to move it, you got to kick it in, you got to put it in deep, you got to just change your style a little bit. But they just think it differently. I've coached a bunch of them in St. Louis. At one point we had 7 Russian players on our team.
Wow.
Oh yeah. A lot of battles.
That's awesome.
Which I was totally fine with, and so were they. They just move on from it. It's like that's the way they do. They're tough, man. They're tough guys.
They are tough. Like
tough.
You're right. Like in many ways, those kids are a lot tougher than our kids in North America.
Yes, they are. They're mentally tough, man. You can get on them and really get on them about things, and they'll give it back to you, and you go at it, and then it's over with, and then they move on, and they're ready to go.
Did it help having like the fact that you had 7 kids? Did it help having, because you almost need somebody else to lean on from your own country? Like it makes life a little bit easier that way.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of times when you have, Russians come over or whatever country they come from, it's nice to have a couple other guys, especially a young kid that's coming into Philly here. And it's nice to have a couple guys that you could talk the same language in and you feel comfortable, right? It helps you for sure. And so that'll be important for Michkov coming in too.
So let me ask you, tonight, Game 7. There's nothing like Game 7. Like it is incredible. How do you kind of see this game, man? This is amazing. Edmonton coming back from the 3-0 deficit. How do you see it?
Well, I mean, I think Edmonton coming back from 3-0, has put they have the momentum in my opinion. But I think the momentum kind of neutralizes itself because Edmonton put the pressure on themselves now to finish it off, right, in Game 7. Yeah. So I kind of look at it that way. So I'm not sure how much there will be momentum, but I think the team that doesn't make the defensive mistake early on in the game will win the game. The team that makes a defensive mistake early in the game, or when maybe it's later on, that's going to cost them, in my opinion.
Yeah, what's the mindset of Bob now going in? Because he was so good early. It looked like he was going to be MVP of the series, and then it just kind of falls off.
Well, it's tough. Yeah, I agree. And I know that they mixed up his practice schedule a little bit here to try to get him on a different schedule. And, they're trying things. And he's obviously trying things too. But, he's been around a while. I think that he can block everything out that's happened lately and focus on one game here. And I believe I think he'll be ready to go. I think he'll be good tonight. Whether Florida wins or not, I don't know, but I think he'll be solid tonight.
What's interesting is Game 5. It's McDavid, and he's the whole about to come back, and he was amazing. And Game 6, the best player in the world was quiet, right? And they win without McDavid. And I thought that was the biggest thing for Edmonton is that, Connor was pretty quiet. I mean, still himself, but a little bit quiet, and they were able to win without him.
Well, yeah, for sure, and that's important. They need that secondary scoring sometimes, because, I know he carried. I thought McDavid carried the team for most of the series. Um, so he had an off night a little bit. That's going to happen, and his teammates picked him up, which is important. He'll be going tonight, though. I guarantee that. But when we played the game 7, Boston came out hard and fast, which I expected because they in game 6 they came in our rink and we were on our heels right away when we lost that game at home. And so they were trying to get it going again. Binnington was really good early. We took a penalty because the player shot the puck in the stands. So Binner had to make some good saves on that power play. And then there was a defensive mistake on Boston. We scored the first goal. Then we scored the second goal in the first period, and we rolled from there.
Yeah, that was awesome. That game was ridiculous.
But
that was Gloria.
Yeah, Gloria. I hate that song. But anyways,
oh, that's hysterical. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Is there a mindset to coaching a game 7, like before a game 7?
It's a feel thing. It's a feel thing for me. I think you gotta look at where your team's at. I thought that the morning skate at game 7, we were real good. I thought we were comfortable. Guys felt good about themselves, and so in game 7, I came in just I didn't even plan this, but I just wanted to get a little pump up going in the locker room before we went out there in game 7. Just make sure they're ready and make a little bit of confidence boost. After losing game 6, so. But everybody's different. Every coach is different. They'll do what they feel is best.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I got to ask you about, we were doing like all-time great game 7s for the Flyers. And in 87, you were with them.
Yeah.
And it was now, obviously it didn't end the way, we wanted it to. But that was one of the greatest series in the history of the Flyers, right? I mean, it's toe-to-toe with the most dominant team in the history of the game. What was that series like, Chief?
Well, it's, the way we looked at it, you got this talented team over in Edmonton with all the skill in the world and all the best players. And you look at the Flyers, we had good players. Don't get me wrong. I'm not belittling the players on the team, but it's just a bunch of hardworking guys that play a team game. And I thought it was a real gutsy series by the Flyers, and it came down to game 7. And I think if we didn't have a couple guys banged up as much as they were, we might have pulled that out. And I know that we had an opportunity early on. We had a 5-on-3 in that game. We didn't score. I thought that hurt us. Grant Fuhr was real good in the game for them, which you need that in game 7. Your goalie's going to have to make saves, and he was really good.
Yeah, that it was a Sunday afternoon, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember being like almost in tears. Was it? Because you played him so tough. It was an incredible game, man. And it came off game 6, which is JJ Daigneault's goal, which was outrageous. Like that was such a Philadelphia story of going you guys all heart, tough, played against that elite all-star team.
I know. Almost pulled it out.
I know. That was awesome.
Hey, Chief, I have to know, you look so calm and relaxed and good, and you have like one of the toughest, most pressure-filled jobs I can imagine right now as a head coach of the Maple Leafs. Like, how are you feeling the pressure? How do you look so calm and relaxed?
That's just who I am. I think more than anything, I don't feel the pressure, to be honest with you, too much. Obviously, I think you feel more than anything if things aren't going well during the year. It's like you want to fix it. You want to fix the problem, and I think as a coach, if you're going to feel pressure and you're going to act like you're feeling the pressure, well, that's going to rub off on your players. And I always try to be pretty calm and have a pretty calming demeanor around me and around my players, but because I want them to feel that way too. You know, obviously I get upset and I show it at times on the bench or in the room, whatever, because that's what the players need sometimes. They need a kick in the ass to get going and to wake it up. But, you know, for the most part, I think, you know, being calm and cool about things is the way to go.
He's still
But it is a pressure-filled job. I understand that, but it's a job I chose. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to going to Toronto and seeing what we can do.
Yeah, and how about what Toronto? People don't understand. Like, coaching the Maple Leafs is coaching the Cowboys, right? It's coaching the Niners, the Packers. Like, it's the most epic job in all of that sport because of Toronto's relationship and Canada's relationship with the sport.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, their original 6 team, and they've got a lot of Stanley Cup championships, to, you know, to their resume. And, you know, when you're coaching in Canada, you know, that's the sport, right? It's like coaching football here in America. I mean, that's the sport. And so when you're in the heat of the battle in Toronto, that's right in, you know, the heart of it all. You know, they're dying for a championship there, but I don't look at it like that. I look at it like it's a process. We go in there, we try to, you know, want to change some things. So I want to bring my own style and culture into the Toronto Maple Leafs and, you know, see where we get to.
I love it. I was so excited when you got that job because I thought it was a perfect kind of fit. I mean, they have so much of talent, and I'm excited to see what you are going to do with it. I mean, Austin Matthews, like when he has the puck, it's like you can't take your eyes off him.
Well, he's a star player. I mean, he's a great player. You know, if you look at, you know, he has size, he has skill, he can skate, and he's got this unbelievable shot to score goals at will when, you know, from distance or in tight. And he's a full 200-foot player in the National Hockey League. He's a very good player. Very good player.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Listen, Chief, we love you, buddy. You are. You're a treasure, man. You belong behind the bench, and I know you're going to do big things in Toronto.
I appreciate having me on, guys. I really do. And keep her going, Philly. I love Philly.
You're always loved here, buddy.
Let's go Phillies. Phillies are great. I love watching them.
Bryce Harper, brother.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Love you,
boys.
Love you, pal. There he is.
Take care, guys. Yeah, bye.
The great Craig Berube. How great is he?
Dude, and intimidating on the ice, and even on like a
camera.
He's got that angle looking, so you were looking up at him. He's got the big forearms in the frame. Like, he's so intimidating looking just on a video.
He's the best. He was. You know what's amazing about him? He was so he's tough.
Yes.
What's up? What's up with that?
Cause, what do you mean?
Oh, it's Shady Reason.
Yeah, cause.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's summertime.
Well, okay, I look up, he's got the sunglasses on. I was about to rip him, then I realized it's Shady Ratings.
What are you doing here with the sunglasses on?
my inner Berube story come out.
Cause about to make a run sprints.
Sometimes I'm glad I'm between you guys. I'm a little buffer.
He's such a great.
He's so hockey.
He's so hockey. He was tough. First of all, he was a badass, right?
Yes.
Like he was nasty.
He had the hair.
Yeah, he was tough.
Yeah.
You know, but he actually had skill. Like he could actually play a little. He could score a little bit for being a goon.
Yeah.
He had a little.
You would never think like watch.
I mean, it was like Tocchet was a real highly skilled. Tough guy.
I was just surprised when you watched him play back then that he's the one who's cerebral and goes on to be a coach who wins the Stanley Cup. It's amazing.
I know. He's terrific, and he's going to do well in Toronto.
Yeah, he's the man because he's fearless. Like he feared no one on the ice.
Nobody.
Nobody.
So, you know what's funny about this, and it's such a great lesson, being fearless in life. Like you go to a situation, you got to go in, and you can't. You're going to get ripped. You're going to get, beat up on social media, and you're going to get smashed and all that. and you just got to go stand and take it, right? Like you go attack the job, man.
I mean, he's
that guy.
He's in the fire. I mean,
You
we
know.
have like 1.5 million people here. They have like 8 million obsessed hockey fans up there.
Dude, it was funny. We were talking. I think this came up in conversation before. It's every bit the Cowboys. Think about it. They've had a rich history.
Yeah.
They have not won. There's all the pressure on them, and they're like, the Canada's team.
Shizzy M saying Berube could have been a character in Slapshot.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. He's the best, man.
Yeah, he was great.
He is. He really is.
I mean, think about it. We just had like the head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs here.
I know.
Talk Game 7 with us.
I know. But see, that's the beauty of it's why I always will love hockey players. They're always, you know why? Because not only are they generous with their time, the reason why they're generous with time, they all believe it's their duty to promote the game.
Yep.
So very rarely, unless they're really busy, will they decline an interview.
Yeah.
Now, I've known Chief and I adore Chief, right? But so it's a little bit different. But he's there because he goes, we got to grow the game. We have to promote the game.
They understand it.
And that's why, who's got a little, we talk about Bryce. Bryce understands that too.
Yeah.
Like that baseball, no, it's great because the popularity of baseball is coming back.
Yeah.
But baseball players need to understand that you need to grow the game.
Yeah.
Like, listen, football's king. We know that. But those other sports, it's still important to do interviews, to be accessible to media, because that's the conduit to the fans. Media is all it is a window into the fans. And they provide the lens to the fan. And that gets people excited.
And we can, like as fan base, you connect with those players. You connect with those
right? Like
coaches.
if you're in Toronto right now and you're a Maple Leafs fan and you watch that interview, you're fired up.
You should be.
Yeah, you got to love that.
I got a winner.
Yes.
Guys ready for the job. Love it.
All right, we're going to, coming up, we're going to go over Game 7s in the clubhouse. Flyers Game 7. It's been a hockey show today. I've been enjoying it.
This hockey show.
Dude, I got to tell you.
It's been far too long since this has happened.
I know.
People are digging in the chat room.
Baby. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun down there. All right, take it away, Shady.
Hey, let's talk about it, guys. All right, listen. It's a bright, sunny day here in Philadelphia, not only because of the sun, but guys, we got Christopher Sanchez getting an extension. Matvei Michkov, we got Game 7 here today, so we're bringing out the Shady Rays. It's only right to bring out the Shady Rays, guys. Guys, I love these sunnies, okay? This is the style that I like. I know our producer Andrew's got the same one in reds. Guys, Shady Rays, listen, not only are you guys saving a little buck or two on some great quality sunglasses, you're going to be styling all summer long with all those crazy sun rays that we're going to be going through. You're going to be protected with the Shady Rays, all right? I mentioned it. You're not going to break the bank on buying these sunglasses. You see they have a bunch of different types of styles. You can check it right now on shadyrays.com. But my favorite part about Shady Rays, guys, is that, listen, we've all been there. We've all lost a pair of sunglasses. We've all broken a pair of sunglasses as well. And the difference is that with Shady Rays, if you lose or break it, they will replace it for you. Guys, nobody is doing that, all right? Shady Rays is, and that's why I want to recommend it. As guys, take it from me. I'm a sunglass nut. I love my sunglasses, and I always will recommend Shady Rays. But don't just take it from me. Take it from over to 300,000 people that have rated Shady Rays 5 stars or more, all right? And here's what we got. This is what you got to do, all right? Because we always hook you up with that promo code, okay? If you go right now, Shady Rays, you get your polarized sunglasses. Use the promo code PHLY. It'll get you 35% off your polarized sunglasses here today. Guys, 35% off. That is legit there. All right, so head on over shadyrays.com. Use that promo code, and you as well, my friends, will be styling with Shady Rays.
Look at that. That was good, dude. Now you got Rite Aid.
So, guys, let's talk a little bit about.
So you got to take your glasses
We
off.
don't have Rite Aid, guys. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on here at PHLY. All right, guys. So here's the schedule going on right now for PHLY. After here, we have the Phillies show, all right, at 11 a.m. Great weekend series that we had. We beat the got revenge on those Diamondbacks. So PHLY Phillies, will be talking about it then. At 12 p.m., we have PHLY Eagles. And then at 2 p.m., we have PHLY Union. All right, we have Dave Leno, the radio broadcaster for the Philadelphia Union. We'll be in studio here with Renee and I. That'll be at 2 p.m. Of course, guys, if you're enjoying today's show, it is 10:29 here on the Anthony Gargano Show. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe as well once you hit that, and you'll also see that little bell button. Hit that so you can know exactly when the Anthony Gargano Show will be live, all right, on any of our PHLY sports shows. And this is a big week, right? Obviously, we started off with the bang with Matvei Michkov, but we got not one, but 2 drafts here in the city. And we got you with the draft parties, of course. On Wednesday, we have the PHLY Sixers draft party.
That's a party.
That's going to be a party. And everyone's favorite bar, Garage in Fishtown. All right. Devon, Kyle, Derek will be live, or we'll be at Garage for the entire draft, right? We'll see if the Sixers pick at 16. We'll find out on that day. But that'll be on Wednesday. We'll have some Coors Light specials. And again, you get to hang out with the PHLY Sixers team. And then on Friday, after the Michkov stuff, we have the NHL draft party, all right? We have the PHLY Flyers team teamed up with Broad Street Hockey. They'll be at Chickies and Pete's, the South Philly one, all right, on Packer Ave. My favorite. I love that Chickies. It's my favorite spot to watch the Eagles, by the way. That'll start at 6 p.m., all right? At 6 p.m., you'll be live with PHLY Flyers.
Dude, that's
Broad
awesome.
Street Hockey.
They're going to make a move.
Yeah.
That's actually a great night.
Yeah.
They're going to make a move, and then you're going to go, and you got crab fries and NHL Flyers draft.
What's better than that, cuz?
That's a good time.
Yeah, that's an absolute good time. So
I like that.
More information about all these are on phly.com/events. You can check it on out. RSVP. Come hang out with all of our fun gang that we have here at PHLY Sports. And that's what we got going on here at PHLY Sports, cuz.
All right. So it's Game 7 tonight. It's the hockey show today. And we're celebrating Game 7s. Flyers have played in some epic Game 7s. Unfortunately, the most remarkable ones they lost, except for the first one. The best Game 7 of the Flyers was Flyers-Bruins, because like Edmonton, they were down 3-0 in that series.
We're talking in the 70s?
No, this was in 2010.
I thought you said the first one. This is the first one.
Oh, the best one. To me, the best one for the Flyers was they've been in 16 Game 7s. So we picked out 5 to discuss. The greatest one was they're down 3-0 in the series to the Bruins. They come back. It's 3-3. This is the Laviolette blowing some job, right? Like that was that moment. They're down 3-0. They're down 3-0. And Danny Briere with the game-tying goal to make it 3-3. That was one of the most epic performances ever.
I was watching video of it this morning. Wachovia Center was filled doing like a watch party for Game 7.
Game 7 was in Boston.
Yep.
It was a Friday night, I think.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget it because I was like, I couldn't wait. Anthony was a baby, or I couldn't wait to watch this game.
Couldn't wait to put him down in bed.
Yeah. I had him with me. I think I was.
Yeah.
I think he was like maybe a year and a half, and I was wrestling with him.
Already stretching him out.
Yeah, I was trying to. I tried to stretch him out.
Yeah.
I did try to do that.
I'm sure.
I believe in the stretching.
Yeah, it seems to pay off. Yeah, the Marinovich has a camp where he'll stretch your infants.
But that was a ridiculous game. That was a blast.
I mean, your memory is much better than mine. I think it's all the gummies and
right.
herbalness. But you're sharp with this stuff. I'm going to need you to.
Because I'm a loser. No, seriously. I can tell you these things because they're all a timeline, right? Like, listen, I mean, truthfully, if you ask me what I was going to do in my life, I was going to be a foreign correspondent or a novelist. Like, I always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But what I love the most in life is sports.
Yeah.
And these games, I love that. I'll go back. That Sunday, Game 7 against the Oilers was unbelievable. Dude, they were the greatest dynasty in the history of that sport. Like, all those Canadiens and all that stuff. The Edmonton Oilers were a machine. Gretzky, Messier, Glenn Anderson, Yari Curry, Paul Coffey, right? Like they won like one after another. It was an all-star team. And we had Tockett, Zezel,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Like Prop, Berube. Like, you think about that.
Oh, I'm looking at Issa Tikkanen was on that
Asa
squad.
Tikkanen.
Oh, my
He's
God.
another
That
one.
Craig McTavish.
Yes.
Marty McSorley.
Yes. I mean, look, like it's Asa Tikkanen, man. He was nasty.
Hate that guy.
Hate him.
But I mean, that Oilers squad may be the greatest team sport team that I can remember. They were so dominant.
They were. Well, when you have, I mean, Gretzky's. Do you ever sit back and look at Gretzky's numbers?
Yeah, they're like Tony Gwynnish. They're just stupid. Like you could take all his goals away, and he's still the point leader all time in hockey.
I mean, that'll never happen again, right?
No.
I mean, as much as we think about modern day and the great athletes, like Gretzky, watching him was like watching, I guess, Babe Ruth.
I wish I would have seen
one
him
of
play.
these,
I wish I would have seen him play, man.
Oh, dude, 99 too.
Yeah.
Like, and he was the first one to wear that kind of number.
Yeah.
Like 99. And like you were like, oh my God. He was, every bit like it was him and Jordan.
Yep.
Yeah. But Messier,
Messier
beast.
could be like one of the most clutch team, got great player. Like he was probably the second best player in the NHL.
Yes.
I mean, the fact they let the Rangers to the Stanley Cup in '94 to win, no one else has been able to do that over there.
Right. It was
That was
from
big.
1942, I think.
That was
they had won it because there was a chant going on.
Yeah, everyone would chant that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing those.
Messier played
documentaries.
25 years. He played till he was 43.
He was playing 25 years.
Yes.
What did Yager play till like 40? Like
Yager still
playing.
playing.
He's playing it overseas.
Yeah, I mean,
He's still scoring goals. He's like 53. And he's dating a 25-year-old.
oh my god. best
Him and
line
Bill.
name for Drew.
He was ridiculous, that dude.
Yeah.
He would be at the rink in the middle of the night. Skating.
Yeah. Hey, K Red, going back to that Bruins series, he says Lavi calling timeout and telling the boys to calm down when they're down
Yes.
3-0. The opposite of tough love was the turning point, he thinks.
Yes. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
He's
Job, K-Red.
spot on.
Yep.
And it was like, because listen, you're down 3-0. The last thing you want is somebody trying to kick your ass down
Right.
3-0, telling you stink.
Yeah, you know
Like
you're
you're already
stinking.
like, oh, I'm down 3-0. But the fact he's like, calm down. Listen, let's just go get one. Let's just go get one.
Yeah.
Let's play our game, get one, and see what happens.
That's life.
Yeah, it is
One
life.
game, one play
Yeah.
at a time.
And how it changed everything.
Yeah.
That was
Love
just
that.
an epic. The other game sevens, the game sevens. Oh God, 2000. If I say to you, in 2000, who did the Flyers play in 2000?
No idea.
Really?
Hint Eric Lindros.
Oh, the Devils?
Yes.
Yeah.
Scott Stevens.
Oh, that is.
Oh God, I freaking hate Scott Stevens. Renee.
One of the most devastating moments. That and Ryan Howard collapsing with the Achilles are like two moments that are like similar. Like, Lindros getting crushed by Stevens was just.
Oh, dude, and the way he was going, head was down.
Yeah.
And Stevens just
Salivating.
oh,
Like drool hanging out his mouth when he's hitting.
and he lined them up.
Yeah.
Guys
what
are
he
painting a
did.
picture here.
Oh my God, dude, he lined them up and he lit them up.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember seeing. Well, I didn't watch that one, but I remember watching the Paul Correa one, and Paul's like on the ground, like you see the visor getting fogged up, and it's like, is he okay?
Dude, he lit him up.
Yeah.
Man. I mean,
That was his thing,
And
though.
he came from, because Lindros was so tall, right? Because he was so tall.
Yeah.
The worst concussion is the chin.
Oh yeah.
Like when you get hit in the chin, it's good night,
Yeah.
right?
It snaps your neck. It snaps your neck back, and you're done.
Yeah.
It's the brain to hit the back of the skull, and
It's the worst one.
Not good.
And because he had great size, guys would come underneath him, and that was a shame. And it was horrible because we kept thinking, is it right to bring him back? It was Game 6,
Yes.
and they won a Game 6, but it was like maybe they were
Dude,
playing
he got
so well
sandwiched.
without him.
He got sandwiched.
Yeah,
Dude,
but
I did the search of Stevens and Lindros in the first hit. Scott Stevens destroys Eric Lindros.
He did.
Yeah, dude.
Did that change the series right there?
It changed the series. They won the series.
Yeah. I don't know what game it was.
Six.
Was
It was
that
game six.
Yeah.
Hockey to me.
And game 7 changed the dynamic. But they weren't going to bring him back. They bring him back in game 6, and he gets pummeled.
Yeah.
And it just put a pall on the whole thing, and they lose game 7.
And now, I mean, he was never the same after that, right? His rest of his
No.
career.
Yeah, that
Got
was
traded
it.
to the Rangers.
Yeah.
That
Shade.
was it. Yeah.
He was a great player.
Yeah.
88 was a
fun.
great player, man.
Every
Great
time
number.
he came on the ice,
Oh,
it was like
it
can't
was
miss.
awesome. It's a shame. Like he really should have been the next one. And imagine like when they awarded Lindros to the Flyers, it was like
I
we
remember being in my
celebrate-
car,
like
heard
we're
it on the
celebrating
radio,
Michkov
honking the
today.
horn. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes.
Like we're celebrating Michkov today. Like we were freaking out when the Flyers got Lindros.
Yeah.
Because
Not bad.
the arbiter awarded him.
Larry Bertuzzi.
Yeah, isn't that nuts?
Yeah, how do I
It's good
know this
memory,
stupid
man.
name?
That storyline's so cool because obviously Quebec, a strong hockey town. Eric said no, and he wanted to come play for Philly. So like, you got to feel that pride as a city too. I bet.
It was wild, man. It was absolutely wild. They were every bit of Michkov, like every bit of it. It was times 10. It was
People
unbelievable.
were saying that hit was early game 7. I guess he scored at the end of game 6, Lindros. They're saying that hit was game 7. A couple people in the chat room.
Game 7. Yeah, that's right. Game 7. They're right.
So now we got to create the Legion of Doom Part 2.
That's right, because it was Game 7
Game
in
6
Jersey.
he came back.
Right.
Game 7.
And Game 7, it's early in the game, but it changed the course of the game.
Yep.
Wow, that's wild. The other Game 7 that was a tough one. Do you have the graphic?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
Put it up.
I got
What
it.
are you doing? You're sleeping.
I got it.
Look at him. By the way, the man in the box.
Dude.
Look at that mustache.
It's fresh.
Looks like the Arthur Blank look going on.
Doesn't he remind you of a villain from 1906?
Yeah. He's going to rob
Right.
a train and then
Yeah.
tie a maiden onto the trash.
The haircut's fresh.
I'm
I'll
gonna
say
take
that.
your money.
You got to put the handlebar around it. Yeah, don't he look like that?
Yes.
He looks like a villain
You better
from
watch out,
1906.
kiddo.
Yeah.
Versace just woke up. He's afraid. So he's like, oh, shrapnel's coming over this side. I better look alive.
It's been hot in the studio today. You guys have been going, you know. All right, here's your graphic.
All right, it's about time. We're only talking about Game 7. You think you can put it up?
I was waiting for some like verbal cue. I don't know.
Verbal cue. Here's the cue. We're talking about all-time Flyers Game 7s.
Well, there you go.
How about the Tampa one? That was a tough one. That's when all the defensemen were falling. Hey, Kim Janssen, you remember that?
No.
You don't?
No, I do not remember this one.
Yeah.
Walk me
that
through
was
it.
a
Walk me
great
through it.
series. That was the conference finals. Tampa, they were going to the Cup. Hitchcock. That was a great
We don't even have it on our graphic.
Well, it's funny because like
These games were supplied by JP, not me.
we didn't talk. No,
Don't
we
look
didn't
at
talk about
me.
this one because these were the 5.
I'm not
that we
taking the heat
talked
for
about.
this one.
We
Listen.
talked about that one too.
He sent me a
Right
list and I
behind
put them
you,
on
we're
here.
going to have to, someone who's a leather person out there, create a Manning 8 belt that we can just hang back here on the wall with the pennants.
Scare
I
us
bring it
all
up
with
to
it.
him. Dude, I brought it up to you, dude. It's all right. It's all right. Serenity. We got to be
Serenity now.
We got to have love.
Insanity
We
later.
love for the next generation. Show love. It's
Yeah.
okay, JP. It's fine. I only have you written right here in my notes, and I gave it to you. It's okay. No worries. How about the Ovechkin one? We beat Ovechkin in the Game 7.
That's on here.
He's a tough
It's
player.
funny because when you were
Ovechkin.
making these cuts, you were talking about all these Game 7s. You were like, we didn't win a lot of these
Now,
great.
the
great
great
7s.
one was the Flyers Rangers.
Yeah.
And that was on the path to the Cup.
Yeah.
In 74, in the Game 7, they win that one. That's a blast. All right. Timeout for what? VG's.
Oh, snap.
Let's go. The Noogs.
All right, we all saw Sanchez get his extension or his sign.
Yeah.
You know, you may have seen he wore the Bohm shirt, which I liked. The I love this place. While he wore it to
that's awesome.
the signing. I thought that was
That's
nice, right?
very cool, man.
Love that.
Very cool.
He's
you kidding
super
me?
Love
cool.
that.
Sanchez is becoming a quiet, cool guy.
Yeah.
He-
Love the
I
Sanchez.
gotta tell you, I think the same thing.
Yeah,
He's become like real.
he looks cool.
Yeah.
Got good
Unbothered.
physique.
Yeah.
It looks like
Sanchez, man.
He's got that
You know
indifference.
what's really cool about him? I think we all had this like impression that he wasn't going to be this long-term guy in the pitching rotation.
He's a nobody they brought up.
and
Thought
he's
it'd be a
just
bullpen piece.
his blossoming of being
Right. He's
this.
supposed to be a long man.
yeah.
It's just amazing to see how well he's been pitching this year, and I hope the best for the next 4 years.
What a
Lefty,
job
too.
by Dombrowski. I mean, he's basically, they know they're going to extend Ranger. He's got 4 starters locked up for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Dude, he has done a fabulous job. And
Yeah.
by the way, watch Turnbull. He's going to pitch wonderfully.
Oh yeah, they
Put him
never
in.
should have taken him out.
You had to. Like, I don't understand.
I
Like,
get
what,
it.
Money. You got Walker. You can't just not put him back in the rotation. And, now he's got a blister, and we'll see how long that takes. Something tells me it might be a while.
I hope it takes a while.
Yeah.
I got a blister expert if you want.
It's a big blister.
Oh, wait, Carson?
Yeah.
Versace?
And like someone was saying, Sanchez came from Tampa, right?
Yes.
And they're usually accurate with their talent assessment in Tampa.
also-
It's weird for them to
Yeah.
give him away and him to blossom into such a starter.
We also have Alvarado from Tampa too. It's the arms down there. They know what they're doing.
They usually are good with their talent evaluation.
Yeah.
All right, Cole Hamels. He's one of 12 pitchers with 2,500 strikeouts, and he has more Ks than hits allowed. The other 11 are Kershaw, Scherzer, Verlander, Felix Hernandez, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, John Smoltz, Kurt Schilling, Roger Clemens, David Cohn, and Nolan Ryan.
You were right.
Wow.
You
What a
were right,
list.
cuz. Underrated. That
What
Cole
a
Hamels.
He
list.
is. He's one of
Underrated.
the most underrated guys. We were texting about it. We were in a group chat. We were talking about it. And then we were texting later.
Yep.
And you were saying to me, California thing. You had great hair.
Yeah.
You say you had great hair.
Yeah, he looked like a pretty boy. He's got the voice that's a little soft,
Dude hasn't aged either.
Hey,
He looks great.
Yeah.
so I had
Suit
to,
was spot on.
I had to skip. I got to send you these for tomorrow. I brought this skip. So Charlie, who was with us on Thursday, was fantastic, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Charlie Manuel was there Friday night for Cole Hamels.
Yeah.
Saturday morning, I pick him up and I take him to our Little League game,
Wow.
right? Our
awesome.
Yeah.
travel ball, whatever it is. And so it's 1,000 degrees. I actually was so worried about him because Charlie is part of Perfect Game,
Yeah.
and it was a Perfect Game tournament that we were playing in, and it was miserable, right? By the time we got there, because I had to pick him up in South Philly at the hotel, all the way back, it was traffic. We were down 5-0 to start the game, right? It was horrible. And it's 1,000 degrees. And I stopped, I bought a bunch of water and Gatorade. But he's out there in that heat melting.
Yeah.
And, but he was there talking to the kids.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
He's the
good
best,
dude.
man.
So we were driving back and forth. We're chit-chatting the whole thing. And he's like, Anthony, Cole looks great. He loves Cole. He was like talking about how great Hamels look. He looks great. I mean, just saying, Anthony, he looks fantastic.
Yeah, he gave him the jersey before the first pitch. Charlie gave him the jersey.
Yeah,
to put on.
He said, what's nuts is that his arm is dead.
Oh,
Cole's
really?
arm, he can't throw. He can't throw. Like it shredded inside.
Wow.
Anyway,
Yeah. Phillies are the best of a few things in baseball. They got the best record. They got the best home record. They
home
got
record, right?
Yeah, and the best record in baseball.
Yep.
Best run differential and best ERA.
Strong.
Pretty dominant and strong for the first half.
Oh
so
my
far.
God, yeah. Oh, so they're pitching. Their pitching's absurd.
yeah. I'm trying to think of another team that's got 4 starters that they're going to be locked down for the next 4 or 5 years, and I don't know. I don't think there's another team right now. Like Nola's an afterthought right now, and he's good.
Right. That is exactly right.
He's like the 4 on
Yes.
this roster right
Yes.
now.
I was going through a Cole Hamels rabbit hole the other day.
Yeah.
And it was after the no hit in Chicago, and they're all celebrating in the clubhouse. And then Cole's like, "Who's pitching tomorrow?" And here's this young Aaron Nola, like he doesn't have the hair, and he was like, "Me."
Oh,
It was a
that's
pretty
awesome.
cool video.
That's awesome. I
see
love
that?
that.
You see that video?
no.
That's cool.
I love that stuff.
Here's Bryce Harper. You know how he always comes up in clutch pressure moments. So Someone put up a comment. I don't know when he made this comment about pressure, but he says, I dropped out of high school at 16. That was the pressure. I have to be the number one pick. If I'm not, I'm a failure. I have to be able to get my family out and take care of them. Now all this is cake. The pressure's all behind me.
Wild.
That's awesome.
I like that. Yeah.
What was the high school thing?
I guess he dropped out to start playing ball.
I thought he was being homeschooled while he was playing.
I don't know.
But he was a wonder kid, man.
Yeah.
He was. Remember, like he would go all around and play guest. Like he was playing in guest tournaments. Like he was. It was interesting how baseball, because we always think about baseball as a team game, right?
Yeah.
But like you get those kids that would come in and they would be guest players on all these teams, and they're like mercenaries.
That's crazy, man.
Shane Beaver's chiming in. Wait until Painter comes up. I mean, if he's
forgot about him, man.
What
He's your 5.
you think he is?
And you know what? The best thing about him is that there's no rush.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't have this rotation, and you would be like, what? Because I remember sweating over Painter. When he got hurt, it was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
We were counting. If you remember, we were counting on him coming up at the end of the year.
Yeah.
At the beginning of last year.
Yeah. It's wild what they've done with the rotation.
It was before the ascent of Ranger.
Yeah.
Right? It was before Ranger. We were thinking Ranger as a back end guy.
Yeah.
We were thinking, we need somebody, and there was some doubts with Nola, that we were thinking we needed somebody to be a 2 or 3, and that was going to be Painter.
Well, then the Painter injury, doesn't that open up the door for Christopher Sanchez to kind of get in the rotation a little bit?
That's exactly, yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Well, Sanchez was already up here last year.
But he doesn't get the volume, I don't think, if Painter
Probably not.
gets hurt. It doesn't get hurt.
Crazy how it all works out.
And the crazy thing about those injuries as well, Tommy John, is I feel like more recently pitchers who get it early, come back very strong.
Yeah.
Well, there's, kids are getting it preemptively.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's a preempt because it also adds, it adds velo to it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, so
they're becoming like, genetic, like almost mechanically engineered.
Yeah. So knock on wood, obviously,
Right.
but that's he's your number 5 right there.
Yeah,
and that is a rotation and a half.
And props to their development, too. Suarez and Sanchez are guys who developed in this system. And this system used to be a system that didn't develop anyone.
Well, it transitioned, right? Like their issues were they couldn't teach. Yeah, they went so far analytics that it stunted their system.
Yeah.
Like, listen, analytics is a part of everything. We get that. But they went so far analytics that they didn't have teachers.
Yeah.
Like you need those guys, like the Toppers and the Charlies and those roving minor league instructors. Like that's paramount to any system. And they lacked it. They were, listen, it's great to get kids from Harvard that could, teach you all about, the really deep analytics, but you got to be able to teach the game. Like that's what never changes.
Yeah, like Gabe Kapler era, teaching hitters.
Clinton, it was a disaster.
Clinton was all,
Now he's like traveling around in a van, Gabe Kapler.
Is he really?
Trying to give the meaningful life lesson. TikTok. Oh my God, dude, just
Hey, you got the memory. Do you remember Phillies 1979 Saturday night special uniforms?
Yes, they were all red, really red.
Maroon pants with the maroon top.
I remember it. Yes. Wow.
We had those
Saturday night special. I'm gonna rock you.
We had those in 2019, right?
That's awesome.
Those things are pretty sweet looking.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Those are probably my favorite.
Yeah.
You like those, really?
Yeah.
They're so ugly, they're cool.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
So
I was
70s.
kind of hoping for like the City Connect that they would do like an all blue version of that jersey, but with the
cool.
updated pay and all that.
Right.
The white and red like trim.
Yeah.
Would have been cool looking.
You're right. That's an interesting kind of look, though. Like the
it's
Saturday
different.
nights. Put that back on. Let me look at it one more time. Because I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. The wide piping along the side.
Yeah, they got the maroon belt. Like not even a white belt with it. It's just maroon everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Wow.
Look at that hair.
That's a great
That's
look.
some lettuce, man.
Yeah,
That is
some
lettuce.
lettuce.
That's a great look. That's classic.
Here's not a great look. Great segue. I don't know what they did. Was it Friday night They dressed up John Kruk to broadcast in the game, and he looked so uncomfortable and miserable. Oh, he looks like he's held hostage or someone forced him to dress like this. Kruk does not belong in this kind of an outfit. I mean, you can't just throw on some nice MLB gear.
That was for the Apple, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it was Apple.
That was the
yesterday on Hulu. You see T-Max got like a pocket square, a blazer with a pocket square.
Good. He looks good.
Streaming, man. They dress it up for the streamers.
I saw some stats somewhere that the Phillies are undefeated when on Roku.
Oh, yeah.
When they play on Roku.
Is that their first game?
We love Roku.
I don't know how many games, but I just saw that.
We love the Roku. We got to get involved.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I was telling people that this is the future. And so you and I are big film guys.
Yeah.
So they just had the Cannes Film Festival.
Yeah.
And at Cannes, you know what was the talk of Cannes? Sports.
Really?
Sports and streaming. And how the streamers, all they want is sports.
Sure.
All they want is sports. It's amazing.
It's the greatest original content.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
entertaining.
All advertisers want is sports.
That's right.
Because as great as, we love film and TV, you're not, you can fast forward the commercial.
There you go.
The minute on demand comes, you're not sitting through, and we're so conditioned now that we won't sit through the commercial.
I don't.
Can you watch a movie? Years ago, when we were kids, Saturday night, what was it called?
It was Sunday. It wasn't Sunday night movie?
Or maybe it was Sunday. I don't know.
Yeah, it was like the movie of the week, I thought. Sunday night movie.
It was
Sunday
like a big deal.
Yeah.
It was like
no.
It was like a big deal. They would show a movie on TV, Channel 6. And it was the big movie of the week or whatever it was. And there was commercials that would break up the movie.
Yeah.
I hate it. I put on a Pluto and I'm in the middle of a movie and commercials come on. It's such a drag.
You can't do it.
It's a buzzkill.
So that's why sports, it's ingrained in the natural break. So we accept it. We're used to it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting.
Love you, Roku.
Spaghetti at a ball game?
Or
you ever eat
Cincinnati?
spaghetti at a ball game?
Cincinnati?
Yeah, we had a crew. A couple were spotted at a ball game. They brought them Ziploc bags, spaghetti in Ziploc bags.
I don't think you gave me this one.
That's horrible.
Spaghetti
I
in
didn't give that one to you.
I don't think you gave me the spaghetti one now.
Spaghetti in a Ziploc bag?
Yes.
Well, that's from Always Sunny.
They did that?
Yeah.
In Always Sunny, Charlie Day takes spaghetti in a bag to the movies.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Maybe that's
at
why
the
they did
theater,
it.
he's eating the
Yeah, but you can't take it to a ball game for real.
That
Nolan
sounds like a bad
Ryan,
time.
he pitched his fastest game was clocked in 1974 at 100.9 miles per hour.
In 1974,
Yeah.
100 miles an hour?
100.9. They say in today's technology, that pitch would be estimated at 108.5.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is insane.
Are you kidding me?
That's a crazy number.
That's
108.
ridiculous.
That's why I put him on my list on Friday. I would have loved to watch that guy.
You know what? That was strong by you.
Yeah.
I appreciated that piece of it. Punch Carson for yawning.
Wake up.
If you yawn, here's the kid, right? This is what kind of J.O. this kid is, right? He yawns like this. Right?
With his blister fingers.
Right? So if you figure, if the kid's going to got a yawn,
Yeah.
you do it, quietly,
yeah.
your hand over your mouth. Yeah. But this kid's got
He's gotta let you know he's bored.
right? And he does this yawn. I'm making this kid run around the building 20 times. Get ready to run.
Push-ups.
It's training camp, baby.
Oh, man, we got game 7 tonight, so a little Edmonton love we'll give you.
Let's do it.
A couple of guys driving downtown with a hockey specialized vehicle, a Zamboni, through the streets of Edmonton.
That's awesome.
Dude.
That's fantastic. Oh, my
I would
God.
love to see that atmosphere in Canada for.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
That's
they're nuts
fantastic.
up there.
Oh, my God.
Somebody in Edmonton went to Costco during Game 6. And they took a picture of what a Costco looks like during Game 6 in Edmonton, and there's nobody there but them. and one
that's
worker.
Awesome.
That's so
Don't we have
hard.
one worker at the Costco?
That's all you can see in the frame, like all the way in the
right.
far distance. There's one worker there. And it's the only
Well,
other
can you
person.
imagine?
That's the free sample.
Imagine if you draw the short straw that you got to work.
Oh, yeah.
That's like working during an Eagles game.
Oh, that would suck.
Like working during
Like,
Christmas.
right?
You should
Like
be
during
closed.
Super Bowl,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Eagles Super Bowl too.
right? Like it's Game 6 in Edmonton, and you got to work.
Yeah.
Well, the
That's
beautiful,
not right. That's not fair.
Put it on the
beautiful
phone.
things like streaming services like Roku and all those, you can do it right on the phone.
No, I know.
That's the beauty
While
of it.
you're working. No
Yeah.
retail place is going to let you watch something on your phone while you're working.
I
if
agree.
I'm working
You
at
just said
Costco.
something that I'm so with you, that stores on Christmas and Thanksgiving close them.
Yeah, have to.
It's
There is
not-
a trend. They're getting back to that. Thank God.
Yeah,
Like, this idea, like,
I agree.
Listen, I think the Black Friday thing's funny, it's cute, like, but they started at whatever it was, 5 a.m, and now it's like Thanksgiving night.
Yeah.
Like, stop. Like, let families get together and have Thanksgiving.
Have you ever
Let
gone out?
Christmas, close the freaking store.
Yes.
spot on.
Have you guys ever gone out for like Black Friday?
I did once.
Yeah, I
just
did
to-
once,
Just,
just
a, yeah,
No, I
to
never did.
experience.
Just to do it. It's whatever.
Yeah,
It's a madhouse. It's nuts. People are just
Nah, my wife does that. My wife or mother.
Remember the early 2010s? You would see it on the news though, like people like wrestling over
they're like
TVs in
animalistic.
Target.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The
no.
Tickle Me Elmo, you remember
Oh,
that?
Well,
yeah.
listen,
Way back in the
like,
day.
I mean, there were deals, but now it's cyber, right?
Yeah,
Beating the crap out of someone for Elmo. Well, yeah, he's still
I swear to
doing
God,
something.
this kid.
it's got laser eyes.
I'm catching him in the peripheral doing something.
Oh my God, you're barred from sitting in here until further
Watch
notice.
outside the glass.
And there was a woman.
He's
with-
doing this now.
Yeah, I know. He's been messing with us. He looks like he just woke up. There's a woman went popular this weekend with an interview about a technique she does with men that they enjoy. So some Edmonton fans for Game 7
The Hawk too.
got some jerseys printed up with the Hawk 24 jerseys in time for the game.
Well, how does somebody like? Let me ask you a question. Like, I'm amazed by the speed of the internet because the first thing, I'm late to everything, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know. I saw Bryce do it.
Yeah.
The Hawk too. I didn't know
That was
it
hilarious.
right? I didn't even know where it came from until you showed me this morning. So I'm late on everything. I've officially become dad, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm late on it all. You're like all into it.
Nah, it was a great weekend with those memes going around.
Dude, it was
Right.
all over the
Hilarious,
internet.
dude.
But how does that happen so fast?
I don't know how they
Did
can
you
get
get a
jerseys
jersey
made
made?
that quick.
You can get them in the pro shop. They sew the name right on there, and I think you can have it
So
customized
it's just
right at the pro shop.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that like the Eagles. You can get it like
So you
done
get
right.
it instantaneously. You just get the jersey. You can put whatever letter
Yeah,
in
you just
want.
tell them what they want, and then they right there, done.
That makes sense. See, that's a good answer.
Well, the best one for the Phillies is if you know that building on Broad Street, the Boner Forever.
Yeah.
Someone got the jersey, the City Connect jersey, Boner Forever.
Yeah.
get out.
They got
Yeah,
Boner and then
yeah.
the 4.
Yeah.
All right, one more. I was going to save this for Friday, but it's too good. There's a movie out there you can stream called The Velocipaster, and I just want to read a description of it. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. At first horrified by this new power, a prostitute convinces him to use it to fight crime and ninjas.
Dude,
The Velocipaster.
That is great.
I'm in. It's only an hour and 10 minutes, cuz.
How did that get greenlit?
I love that he's horrified by his power, but a prostitute shows him the way
Yeah.
of how he can use this for good.
You think TV
Wisdom
Todd's seen
of
that
the
one?
hoe.
Do you guys think TV Todd's seen that one?
No, I got to actually send
You
him.
gotta ask him,
Make him sit through that.
How does that get greenlit?
I think the budget was only
Oh, that's a
$35,000.
That's got to be like a Sharknado sci-fi type movie.
Yes. Yeah, the Sharknado is the
Yeah.
greatest.
All right.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us, man. We didn't even get the best and worst of the weekend. We'll do that tomorrow. A lot of fun on the hockey show.
Yeah, great talking hockey.
stuff, yeah.
Michkov, man. Stay tuned. We got a
Coming soon.
full slate right here at PHLY, man. We love you guys. Be careful. All right? Thanks for hanging. We'll see you in the morning.
We all silly like the mayor.